Hello. I am here to chat about today's full moon in Leo. And it's the 25th of January where I am right now. And whenever this video finds you, hopefully there is something beneficial in here for you. So I was walking in my favorite place in the magical forest, and I suddenly had this desire to pop on here and chat about this full moon. And I've heard a few other people talking about this. And as an astrologer, I love hearing how many different perspectives there are and all the different types of astrology and different ways of looking at it in order to provide interpretations. And some of us are also just channeling information in combination with what we know. And so if I say something that contradicts someone else, just know that it's coming from a place of our own experience, whatever it is that we share. And I love the vast layers and different approaches. I believe that makes us more robust in our connections. And so some of you may know what house Leo occupies in your chart. And if you don't, that's okay. What I think is really interesting is the full moon happens when the moon is in the sign of, in this case, Leo, and the sun is in the sign that's opposite Leo, in this case, Aquarius. And because the sun is actually the luminary or planet that rules Leo, there's a bit of additional significance here, because when the luminary or planet is in the opposing sign, it's a little bit stifled in its ability to fully express itself. And Leo is very shiny. It's very fun-loving, childlike, playful energy, and it has this sort of luminescence about it. It's a very regal sign. It's very heart-centered as well. And if you know any people who are Leo suns, you probably already know that. Or if you have any significant Leo placements in your chart, you likely embody that. And Aquarius is more of a detached sign. It's very brilliant, like super, super intelligent, super, super creative. It rules things like science and astrology. And it tends to be kind of seen more as like aloof. And it's focused on the greater good in terms of like humanitarianism. And when the sun is in Aquarius, it's like it's in a place where it's unfamiliar and possibly even uncomfortable to fully express itself. It's like when you go to someone's house where you've never been before and you're noticing that nobody speaks the same language as you, and you're doing your best to sort of find a way to connect with others, and yet it feels like you're totally missing the beat. And the sun in its opposition can feel like this. We call that being in detriment in astrology, which isn't necessarily a negative thing. It simply is not the most beneficial place for the sun to fully express its qualities. And so the sun is in Aquarius, the moon is in Leo, and I will say the moon in Leo isn't necessarily super comfortable either. And the moon is associated with our physical body. It can also be connected with like emotion, intuition, our cycles of life, very feminine, whereas the sun is seen more as masculine. And so the moon being in a masculine sign like Leo could be very expressive and perhaps even a little bit like passive aggressive. There may be a call of attention to the emotional body. You may be noticing things within you arising around unexpressed emotions or things that need to move inside. And things can sort of come out a little like fiery. Leo is the lion, so there might be a little bit of like roaring that wants to flow through with this full moon, and allowing yourself to really express whatever it is in a way that is beneficial for you without being harmful to others will be really important here. So if there's something that you are interested in learning more about, like maybe you want to know what your natal chart placements are and how those affect you more specifically, I do offer astrology readings. So I'll put my information in the description box below, and I will love, love, love to hear from you. And before I go, I will love to invite you, if you're not doing something that requires your full attention, such as driving, I'll invite you to connect and drop in for a little meditation with me to help integrate the energy of this full moon. So if that feels like something you would like to do, or you can always pause and come back to it later, I invite you to connect with your sits bones or the soles of your feet, whatever is actually connecting with a surface. And if you're comfortable doing so, you can close your eyes and soften your gaze. And if you prefer to keep your eyes open a little, go ahead and do that. Perhaps focusing your gaze downward as though you're looking at your thighs or the floor just in front of you. And then I'll invite you to take one hand to the spot that's underneath your belly button and your lower abdomen, like you're holding your lower abdomen. And then perhaps resting your other hand on your heart. And if your eyes are closed, maybe rolling them up so that it is like you're looking out the space in the center of your forehead. And if possible, breathing in and out through your nose. And allowing your awareness to be with your exhale, making sure that you're fully emptying out with each exhale. And then allowing each inhale to arise naturally. Noticing any parts of your body that move while you breathe. Holding yourself with reverence here for the divine human being that you are. I'll invite you to bring your awareness to the space between your eyebrows and that blank screen that's in front of your eyes. And inviting your imagination to see through that lens, what it is that your heart desires in this moment. And if you are attuned to other senses rather than visual, I invite you to tune in to any sounds that you connect you with that desire, any tastes or flavors, any sensations like feelings in your body, any smells, or perhaps tapping into more than one of these options. Really seeing, feeling, tasting, smelling, hearing the desires from your heart. Do your best to allow yourself to be present with whatever desire or desires arise. And then inviting your awareness to deepen down under the hand that's resting on your lower abdomen. And perhaps imagining that this place, the energy of this space, is fueling those desires, and the space between your eyebrows is projecting them onto the screen of your life. And inviting your breath down to this place in your lower abdomen as though you're feeding the potentiality of these desires. Beautiful. And then from here, is it possible to invite those two to merge in your heart by inviting yourself to express deep gratitude and love to the wisdom of your heart, and thanking your heart for communicating clearly with you, for expressing your desires in a way that it's easy for you to receive the messages, and for the fuel of your navel and the brilliance of your imagination in your third eye. And then perhaps bring your palms together and rubbing them. Noticing the energy as you inhale, pause, separate your hands, and notice any sensory feedback between them. And then pressing them together with equal pressure, both sides, flexing your shoulders down. And trusting that whatever came through is already happening right now. And gently relaxing your hands. Blessed be Thank you so much for joining me. And if you will like to share any experience or any comments, if you have any questions, I would love to read them in the comments below. And if you're interested in receiving a reading from me, I'll also love to hear from you. Thank you so much for being you. Thank you for being here. And thank you for being human. Many abundant blessings to you.